Hey, welcome to Ant Lab Games. I'm Anthony.
And I'm Francis.
Today we're going to play Martians, a story of civilization.
Is this your new thing?
It is, I think.
Okay. All right, so Martians is a worker placement, kind of time and resource management survival game.
Yes.
For 1 to 4 players. Plays in about 90 minutes to, could take up to about 2.5 hours or so to play this thing. Designed by Gerzigorz Oklinski and Kurzestov Volinki for Red Int Games.
All right.
And you can play this a couple different ways. We're going to be playing semi-cooperatively,
yes,
or semi-competitively, however you want to look at it, I guess.
Half empty, half full.
Okay.
All right, so we'll take it to the table and we'll show you how it plays. Okay, welcome to the table.
The very big table.
Very big, well, very small table, very big board.
It's a pretty big table, though.
It's a big table, but the board's way big. So here we have Martians, a story of civilization, set up for 2 players, and the scenario we've chosen to play, and we're going to play this semi-cooperatively. And what that means is basically it plays like a cooperative scenario, except that at the end, whoever has the highest reputation on victory points basically is deemed the winner, but we do need to survive or at least achieve our goals.
We're kind of allied.
We are allied.
But we want to be the coolest.
The coolest of the allies, right? So what do we have? There's a lot going on here. It's a very complex play structure. At least it's very unorthodox, really, in the sense of how you spend actions versus time. And we'll go through that as we play. So I'm not going to go through it right now, but let me just give you an example of explain how we set up the board and what each of these things means. So at the very upper left of the board, we have what's called a Moxie generator, and that really just generates oxygen on Mars, right? So that's pretty simple. You go there, you want to generate oxygen, go for it. Over here, we have the health hospital, which is where we'll be able to get these like first aid kits and enable us to treat disease as it spreads throughout our colony. Over here we have a water treatment plant, I believe it's called. Yes. And we'll be able to convert energy and dirty ice that we mine from the surface of Mars into
liquid water.
Potable water. Over here we have the education center, where we'll be able to hire from either the experts deck or the assistants deck. So the way you set up the experts is you shuffle up the entire deck of experts, you draw 4 cards off the top, and those are going to be the available pool of experts for us to recruit. So we have a soil analyst, a physician, an engineer, and a chemist.
Oh, nice.
So we have a nice
good mix.
And they go here. And over here we have assistants. The way you set up the deck is you take 2 of each type of assistant.
Well, for 2 players.
For 2 players.
So as many players as you have, you take that many of each.
Yep. Correct. So there's 3 different types, 2 each is 6 cards. So that makes up the entire deck for the game. And we're going to draw the top 4, and those are going to be the available pool of assistants that we'll be able to recruit. And we're each allowed to have 2 experts and 2 assistants. You cannot replace these throughout the game. Once you hire them, they're yours for the rest of the game. So you want to be very careful with who you hire. So you have 2 botanists, a scientist, and a geologist. So those are going to be available. Over here, we have this...
it's like our excavation.
Excavation, exactly. So this is where you would go if you want to mine the surface of Mars. This is our excavator, and that will mine whatever ore or whatever material is available on the revealed tile. So you can mine the one you're on, or move to another one and mine. But either way, you have to move at least once. So if I mine where I'm at, I then have to move, or I could move and then mine. Right now we're allowed to mine up to 2 of the resource if they're available. Only 2. There are ways to get bonuses, and there's ways that we can be penalized throughout. So that's that. Here we have the RTG, and the RTG is really like I think it's like a geothermal power plant. And we started with 4 crystals, energy crystals, and that's kind of like the pool of energy that we're allowed to. I guess you can take it from this generator at the cost of a victory point. This pool is set at 4, and it is 4 for the entire game. Once you exhaust that pool, you're done. So it's kind of like if you're in a gym and you need some energy to do something, which you will need energy to do something, you can take from that pool. Another thing to note down here, these are called regolith cards. And the regolith is really this red resource that you mine from the surface of Mars. For
like
every,
dirt.
I guess it's kind of a dirt or a mineral. But every time you, like if I were to mine 1 or 2 or 3 of those red crystals in one action, I can spend an additional time to take 1 card per red crystal, per regolith that I mined. And these cards give you like certain minerals or bonuses.
You're kind of like studying the dirt
Yes.
and see what you find. And those will help you out later.
Exactamundo. All right, here we have the landing pod. So this is where we will take actions. And in the landing pod, we are going to have the opportunity to do research. And the research, we have the stack of research tokens. And we're going to take the top 4, and the rest stay on the side of the board. And the top 4 research items will be available to us if we were to take this action. You would pay the appropriate amount of time. As long as you have that mineral or resource, you're basically researching it and selling that research to Earth for cold hard cash. Another action you can take here is to get supplies from here. This action here lets you pick a new goal card, and those goal cards are only used in a competitive game, so they'll be ignored for this playthrough. Down here we have the laboratory, and it will let us upgrade something on our corporate card, right? Corporate board, and take a corporate action and upgrade any one of these special abilities that give you bonuses to generating power or picking cards or giving you more time.
Check the weather.
Check the weather, which we haven't even gotten to yet. So that's what you can do here. For here, these are different research technologies that can help mitigate disease, help with oxygen, or increase your birth rate. And the birth rate is going to increase our population, which at first we start with 3 population, and our 4th is locked on the board. And once we get to a certain amount of birth rate, we can increase our population and our food demand, which is great. Over here is the farm, the greenhouse. Yeah, so the greenhouse, we could use this action to either farm or upgrade our corporate farm to one of these technologies, and it allows us to generate more food, which is stored there. Over here, these are the amounts of energy we're going to produce every cycle, I guess you could say, when we generate power to earn this much power, 2 power crystals, depending on how many we each own or how many of these we've built. So you've got air power or wind turbines, and you've got solar power. So there's 2 different power types. And finally, up here, we have the facilities construction, and allows us to do 3 different types of things. So we can either construct a facility, build an upgrade, or build either type of the power generators, right? What you have as far as what these mean, so the construction, so take for example this lab, you have this construction token and these 2 time tokens. So if you were to take a time action, it would cost you 1 additional time on top of what it's asking for to take the action. But until we actually build the facility, we can't take any of these actions. So once we build this, we could take any of these. This one would be no additional penalty, but these would be a penalty of time. If we upgrade them, then it doesn't cost us any more time. So they're like under construction, really, just making it more efficient, right? And you'll see them throughout some of the locations that we have to deal with, because you can't do certain things until you build those facilities. On the left side of the board, you see the event decks. There's 4 events, and it's more or less the timer that we'll have to go through. We're going to start on round 1, and I think that's pretty much it. So now we have to divvy out our starting cash resources, and I think we start with some other things in the quarters, which I will explain in a second, and then I'll talk about what scenario we're doing. All right, a few more items and we're ready to start. So cash, player 1 starts with $2. Player 2 gets $3. And this, everything in the semi-co-op game is shared, all of our resources, so we can give each other stuff. So it really is kind of irrelevant. We're not in one big pool. We also have up here, you'll see these are the quarters, right? And we're only going to use this bottom 1 quarter. If we were playing cooperative, we'd each have our own living quarters.
Competitive.
Yeah, we'd be if we were playing competitively. For a semi-co-op game, to start the setup, we place 2 oxygen tokens. These are like, think of these as oxygen requirements.
Right.
So these requirements are going to go in our quarters, and we're going to have to fulfill that at the end of the game round. Well, at the end of the cycle, they call it. So there's 4 game rounds in a cycle. Right? So after we do 4 rounds, that finishes cycle 1. We're going to play through 4 different cycles.
Yeah.
So we start out with that. Was there anything else we have?
We start with 5 energy and 1
5
supplies.
energy each, right?
Please give me energy.
So here's your 5 energy and 1 supply, right?
Yes.
Now the supplies I've put here. So we get 1 supply each.
Yep.
And 5 energy each. Seems like a lot, but it's not. All right, so 5 energy. Okay, so that is pretty much it, I think, for setup. Anything else we can kind of... And you start with these top 3 exposed tiles, and we'll show you how that works in a bit. We've also, if you notice, there's these blocking tokens on these actions. That just tightens the board for 2 players, and it tells you how many to put down in the book when you have a higher player count. So, what is the setup? It may not look exactly like what yours is because we have all of our what is this? The greenhouse tiles, like greenhouse upgrade tiles, off on our card because this is the scenario we're playing. We also have 2 action workers out in the drop pod area, which the setup says to do. So what is our scenario? It's called a botanic capsule. So basically, the troubles you had with the landing of the botanic capsule on Mars did not bode well. Despite the emergency protocol, the system reported no breach in the capsule's hull, which was good. It meant the seeds inside should have been safe. However, you discovered there was a mess in the capsule, or total chaos to be more precise. Most of the seed containers were damaged, so there is no guarantee that they have remained uncontaminated. The agency ordered a full analysis and selection of the seeds before they may be used in greenhouses. Normally, these different farm plots are already start in the greenhouse, and you can immediately start upgrading those. But in this case, they're not. They're all still in the landing vessel.
We have to separate out the seeds.
We've got to sort seeds. So the players have to spend some time to sort the seeds and select the uncontaminated ones to make sure that the crops will be healthy and not mixed. So to prep this game, at the beginning of the game, each player places one of their action markers in the landing pod. In addition, the scenario crop tiles are placed on the scenario card, which is what we've done. There's different rules here. Players may not perform the harvest action, that's this action here, as long as there are no crop tiles in the greenhouse.
Which makes sense.
There's not. The crop tiles selected by the player may be placed in the greenhouse upon performing the seed selection action in the landing pod, and that's
over here.
Yes, okay, so when you go to the landing pod to take an action, you say, I'd like to take the seed selection action, and then you basically are sorting seeds. So performing an action in the landing pod allows the player to take any 1 crop tile and place it on the board in the greenhouse if the player has a botanist on their corporation card. So if we hire a botanist, they may take and place 2 crop tiles in the greenhouse instead of just 1. Right? So the players receive 2 reputation points for each crop tile they've placed in the greenhouse. So we basically have to get through the game, survive, have no requirements in our quarters, and
have these populated.
Have all of them off and onto the planet, and each have
we need to have an upgrade, right?
1 upgrade on our card. So by the end of the game, each player needs to have a crop tile on their corporation card, and the only way to get them is by moving them here, so we can get 1 each. So basically, that's it. So it sounds simple, but it's not. Trust me. We have to manage that, plus manage all the resources, because at the end of the round, end of the cycle rather, we are going to have to make sure that all of our requirements of our quarters are met. And then we're going to get a new set of requirements, which is for a 2-player game, it's going to be 2 more oxygen requirements, 2 disease tokens are going to go there that we need to cure.
Some birth.
And a birth token if we're able to achieve all of the requirements, but we're also going to get 4 hunger tokens that we're going to have to satisfy. And right now we don't have a source of food. Right? So if people go hungry, they don't want to work. If people get sick, they don't want to work, or they can't. If people don't have oxygen,
we die.
They die. And you cannot get them back if they die. It's the only untreatable deficit in this game. So Last thing is we have a weather card. The weather deck has been shuffled. The first card that's displayed is called Stable Weather, which is always going to be the case, so we don't have any weather effects. As we go down the list, you'll notice that there's these icons up here, which basically say draw an event card, draw a weather card, and then generate energy. We skip that for the very first round of the game, but we'll be doing it for the first time in the third round, and then every subsequent time we hit 1 and 3 throughout the remainder of the cycles.
Yep.
All right, so I hope some of that made sense. Probably not, but here goes. So you've got the player 1 token, which is that spaceship thing. And I think we are just about ready to rumble. So how's it going to go? How does each cycle work, right? So we have a supplementation phase, which we're going to skip for round 1, which is where we get all the bad stuff. We're going to have a work phase, which we're going to do now. And once we finish all the rounds of the work phase, we do a quarter summary where we have to check to make sure we've met all of our requirements.
Yep.
And then we repeat 4 times.
Wash, rinse, repeat.
Wash, rinse, repeat. Okay, so I think it's enough
That's good.
explanation.
Let's get into it.
Let's jump into turn 1.
All right, so I'm player 1. And I think I have a plan.
Okay. Well, why don't you explain how time and action
let me explain how time works. So we have a couple of resources in order to make our moves, and unlike a normal worker placement where you're only really spending workers to do actions, here we have to also manage time. So for each one of our colonies, which we're sending out, I guess, 1 colony at a time or something like that, they each have 3 units of time that we can spend. So we can spend them in a variety of ways. We don't have to allocate 1 unit of time to 1 worker. We can send 1 worker out and use 2 time to take 2 actions if we can afford it otherwise. So that's what kind of makes it a little bit unique. So we're going to find throughout the game, sometimes we might have more time than we have workers. Sometimes we might have plenty of time and plenty of workers but no resources. So you have to kind of manage everything. That kind of sums it up, right? So I'll explain how that works. Now, we both have 2 kind of workers to start with. One of each of ours is locked up because they're like, oh crap, all the seeds and all that stuff. So what I'm going to do for my first action is mine. Because if you notice around the board, a lot of these take energy, but some of them, particularly this one where you're building things, is going to take that regolith. And we have plenty out there, so I'm going to go take some of that right now. So I'm going to place my worker out here. And now, at the moment I place him out there, I have 3 time to spend. I'm only going to spend 1 time, or 1 time unit, and I'm going to move here. So I'm going to take this off the board, and this is a 3 regolith chip. So we're going to move that there.
He moves.
Now the way this works is, like we explained during setup, is he good? It's our little extra excavator guy.
Who's that?
This guy.
Oh,
Usually
yeah.
He looks like a little steeple, I think,
Yes.
but we got a different one.
This came with a Kickstarter.
So here we are allowed to mine up to 2. So even though this would have given me 3, I only have the capacity to take back 2. So I'm going to take 2 of those regolith here. And that is my 1 action. So with this same guy, I could take another time unit and do some other stuff over here, but I'm not going to. So now I have 1 guy left and I have 2 time units to spend. So I'm going to go up here to this, what's this thing called? The building place?
It's called the Facilities Construction.
The Facilities Construction. And I'm going to construct some facilities.
Okay.
So for my first facilities construction, I'm going to spend 1 energy, 1 regolith, and 1 supplies, and give that to you. And I'm going to take this action, which is building something that needs to be built. So one thing I know we're going to need to build is that slot up there. So that's going to allow us to hire experts and assistants.
Yes,
so I'm going to, yep, education facility. So I'm going to open that up for use. And I have 1 time unit left, and I don't have any other workers, so I'm going to use this guy that I just sent out here to take another action here at the facilities place. And I'm going to spend 1 other energy, my last regolith. And because we're playing semi-cooperatively, Anthony's going to be nice enough to give me one of his supplies so that I can also build or research, I guess, one of these energy sources. And I'll go with wind turbines, I think.
Right.
So
now during
I'm gonna,
energy production.
Right. So I'm going to denote that with my little token. And during energy production, which is going to come up, relatively soon, I will end up getting 2 energy like gems or whatever for right now. So, and that is it. So I'm out of time. I am out of workers and I'm pretty much out of resources. So the last thing that I do on my turn is take my little, chit colonist token. And it has 3 little dudes on it for my 3 time. And this allows me to actually bring things back as well. And that's why it's so important that we do that at the end of our turn. Because if I did have health or I had food to bring back to our like colony base over here, I would do that using this token. So I don't have anything to bring back, so I'm just going to put that there to acknowledge the fact that I've taken my 3 time and now they're back, and now it's your turn.
Okay. All right, my turn. So what I'm going to do, I've got 3 actions. First, 3 time. First time, the first action I'm going to do is move this astronaut up here to the newly opened educational center, and I'm going to pay $2 to hire an assistant. And the assistant I've chosen is because we need him so badly, is the botanist. Now the botanist, not only for this scenario, allows us to move 2 seed tokens bound onto the board, but also whenever we harvest food, I get 1 additional food. So they go up here. And
that didn't cost you any time?
No time. So this action was 0 time. So I still have 3 time to spend. So I'm going to send my next astronaut here, and I'm going to spend 1 time to mine.
Okay.
Right? So I'm going to go onto this little guy here, right? And that's going to give me 1 regolith and 1
dirty Martian ice.
Dirty Martian ice. So there is water on Mars. I knew it this whole time. All right, so he's going to go here, and you want to flip those. So every adjacent unexposed tile becomes exposed.
And I didn't do that because I didn't have any.
I did it.
Oh, you did it?
Yeah, you only had 1, so I flipped it. So that was my first time actually spent.
Your first time.
For the first time. So I'm out of astronauts, right? So you're like, well, what is he going to do? So they have an action called recreation.
Right.
And recreation can be used once per round by your player. And remember, a round is just this. It's not the cycle. So once this round, I can do a recreation action. It costs 1 time. And you pull all of your workers back. And this can be done at any time during that round for you. So I'm going to spend my second action by pulling back all of my astronauts.
Your second time unit.
My second time. Yes, for the second time today. I'm going to pull back all of my astronauts, thus freeing up a lot of actions now. So, for my third action, I'm going to go and I'm going to do some treatment up in the Moxie generator because I know we need some.
O2.
So for 1 energy, I can clear up 1. I can generate enough oxygen to alleviate 1 of those oxygen tokens.
We haven't been giving ourselves points either.
From our quarter, so I get 2 points for that.
Yeah. So you get 1, 2, and then for unlocking that thing over there, I get 3 points.
That is correct. So that's all 3 of my actions?
Yep, that's it.
I pass the baton over to you.
All right, so...
actually, hold on. First thing I got to do is I got to put him up there. So that signifies my turn. So now what we do after each round is
we pass
the baton.
The thing.
And I'm not passing it over to Frances. She's actually passing it to me because now I actually go first. Yeah. So I get to go again.
In a 2-player game, it's weird.
Yeah, you're gonna get 2 turns, and then she gets 2 turns, and I get 2 turns. So it's just the way the game rolls, which is fine. So with now I get 3 more actions, 3 more time rather. So I'm going to go. I was going to go here, right? And what I want to do for my first time is to take the botanic capsule action, right? The seed selection action. And because I have a botanist, I actually get to take in place 2 different crop cards. So I'll take these 2. Okay. And I'm going to put them onto the board. So I selected these seeds and they were good. So now they're on the board and are available now for us to do what we need. For that, I get 2 happy faces.
Okay.
Cool. That was my first time. I'm going to use this astronaut for my remaining 2 times and take this 2-time action to gain 2 supplies because we are completely out. Boom.
Cool.
That was my 3rd time.
Now it's my turn.
Now it is your turn, and you may place that on the board, please. And now I actually pass you the baton. It's your turn.
All right, so for my first time, so I have 3 times, so I'm going to take all my guys back. So we'll do the recreation. What do they call it, recreation?
Because they're having fun.
They're recreating. All right. And then I'm sending this guy right back out to the mine because we need more stuff. So he's going to spend my 2nd time, and that's going to cost 1 energy.
1 power.
To do 1 more of this. Actually, maybe I'll take this one. That we can unlock that other stuff.
Okay.
So there's that. So that'll be 2 regolith, please.
Right, there you go.
These tiles are so hard to do. Anything else? Okay. All right. 2. So that's my 2nd time.
Yep.
And for my 3rd time, I'm going to go up here. And you'll notice I'm not going to use all my workers this time because I just don't have time to send them all out. And I'm going to use an energy and one of these and one of your supplies.
Pull for one of my supplies again.
Yes. And I'm going to clear this laboratory because that we need. Because what that'll do is allow us to unlock some of these down here.
Yeah.
Or any of our birth rates or anything else that we kind of want to try to mitigate as these things start coming out. So I get 3 for that, I think. 1, 2, 3. Okay. That's it. I can't do anything else. So
that was your 3?
That was my 3.
Okay.
Oops,
that
I'm
goes
up here.
there, yeah. So now I pass this over to you, and you're actually going to get to go.
That's my turn again.
Again.
So before I take my action, there's some things that we have to do. So we're here at this kind of mid-round section right now. So the first thing we're going to do is reveal an event card. And we have 2 in the stack, but we're only going to use 1 because it's the second part of round 1. Put that there. And we've got a solar flare.
Yay!
That doesn't sound very good at all.
I'm sure it isn't.
All right, so solar flare says, reports of solar flares come from Earth. We don't have much time to return to safe zones where we are protected from the deadly cosmic radiation. Here on Mars, the solar flare radiation is lethal due to thin atmosphere. The DNA of every living organism's cells gets corrupted quickly, so when the alarm is set off, we have to go to the designated location. Consequences. Are you ready?
There will be consequences.
There will be consequences. Each player whose action markers are on the board takes them back.
All right.
Each player who had to remove his or her action markers from the board has 1 time fewer for his or her actions in the current round. That's actually not that bad.
Okay.
Because I was going to use a time anyway to total recall everybody.
Okay, fair enough.
All right, so
that's that.
That is that. Now we're going to check weather. So we had stable weather for a while, and now we have a sandstorm.
Oh.
Boom, sandstorm.
What does that
So
mean?
what that's going to do, in order to harvest, take the harvest action, it's going to cost 1 extra energy. So we have the plus energy on there. And then our energy production, which we're about to do, is going to yield us 1 less.
Okay.
Because of the sandstorm. So that being said, last thing we need to do is energy production. I have research here, so I'm going to take 1. I would have normally taken 2.
You're the only one with the facility right now.
Yeah. And now I think we're ready to go.
Now I think we're ready to go. So go ahead.
So I will, for my first action, go up here. And this costs no time, but it costs $2. And can you grab me that botanist up there?
Sure.
Thank you. Put that there. And for my first time, I'm going to go up here and I'll clear some oxygen.
Very nice.
So we'll clear that. It's our last oxygen we need, so that's good.
Nobody dies, and it
Nobody
costs
dies.
1
That
power.
costs 1 energy. Go 1, 2. And I have 2 time left.
1 time.
2 time.
No, because you only get 2 this round.
Oh, that's right.
Solar flares, come on.
Oh, all right. So it doesn't matter. I'm going to go here. And so to clarify, we were talking just briefly about this. On our scenario that we have now, we've been playing it so that we were taking time in order to do that action, but in rereading it, it seems like we actually don't take time to do the botanic capsule action. It's actually specified that when we take an action in our landing pod, we can also do that. So
Yes.
we haven't done, I think we've only visited it maybe once or twice anyway, but I'm gonna go ahead and do that. So I'm gonna take an action here, and I'm just gonna get resources, I think. So I'll spend my last time to get supplies. And I have my botanist, so I'm able to take two of those. So I'll take those ones with the medical on them, I guess.
Okay.
Let's put those there. And then we get points for that. I think you only got 2 points for yours last time. You should have gotten 2 more. So we get 2 per tile.
2 per tile.
So
that's
I'm going to
correct.
give you 2 points for the ones we didn't give you, and I'm going to get 4.
Correct. I think now we're back up to speed.
We're back on track, right? Okay.
As close as we can get it without doing everything, so fair enough. So that was your 2 actions, right?
Yep, and I have nothing to bring back. So I'm going to put that there, and I am done.
Excellent, my turn. Okay, since I only have 2 time to spend, I'm going to make this very quick and simple. There's nothing to do at the quarters, so I'm going to go ahead and start fixing my deficit of power. So if you put him on the build action, facilities building, I'm going to spend 1 time and 1 energy, 1 regolith, and 1 supply, and I'm going to build a solar power plant.
Nice.
So if you'll place that there, so now I actually have some energy going. And for my second time, I'm going to send an astronaut here to the lab, the ant lab. And I'm going to develop solar cells, and that's going to cost me 1 energy and 1 time. And what that will do is it'll increase and boost my solar energy production by 1.
Excellent.
So we need energy, and I think we're both running low.
Yep.
I mean, they give you enough to start to keep you going,
Right.
but only for so long.
You need to be able to uphold that.
Right. So I've got no food or medicine to bring back
But
to
we don't need it
Colin,
right
but we
now,
don't need
so.
any this round. It's early on. So that
is it.
is it. Now, had we had a large enough population to have a 4th set of colonists, we could do a 4th round,
Right.
but we don't. So our actual cycle is now over. And we do the quarter summary phase. So let's go into that. All right, so now we enter the quarter summary phase, and this is where we go and we check the quarters to make sure that we've achieved all of the requirements, right? And we go in order, and they're numbered 1, 2, and 3. So first we check our oxygen. Have we produced enough oxygen for the colony or the quarters? Yes, passed it. 2, do we cure all the disease tokens? There were none, so we pass it. 3, have we given them enough food? We didn't have any requirements, so we pass it. So the first round's pretty easy. It's kind of like a pass. So if you achieve all 3 of those and don't have any tokens left, you add a birth rate token to the quarters.
Which is this little baby carriage.
Right. And once you reach 3 of those tokens, that will unlock our 4th, and that represents colony growth.
Right.
The birth rate. So that's good. You want to do that. So 3 successful rounds or cycles will give you unlock that 4th.
Or unless you upgrade your
right here.
Upgrade your birth rate up there.
Right. So if you have this upgraded, we would get an addition. We would get to add one of these during the supplement phase. So that's really it for quarters. I think we bring back our colonists too, right? In the quarters phase. Okay. Yeah. Now we take our tokens back from the track. So they're good. Everybody's still alive. This goes to me. We would now shift that marker up to 2, but we already did that, so we'll just know for next time to do it at the end. And now we enter the supplementation phase. Yes. So this is where it gets ugly. Okay, so first thing is what?
So first we're going to check our population size. So again, if we accrue 3 of these birth tokens, that's enough to give us a whole new colony. So we don't have that yet, so we don't have to worry about that. That would affect our food requirements and things like that. So right now we're good. So that is first. Next we're going to do oxygen, disease, and hunger.
Okay, so according to the chart, how much do we have for 2 points?
2 oxygen,
okay,
2 disease, and 4 hunger.
And 4 hunger.
They're so hungry. They've been working so hard.
Well, they're hungry.
They need to start just growing potatoes.
Yes.
Right? Like, I think that worked for...
It worked for Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
Yeah. All right. And we have...
So we're going to have to get rid of those.
Oh, those are babies.
Those are babies.
Baby carrots.
Get rid of those babies.
But I want that instead of hunger. Yeah, here we go. Purple. All right. So we've got a whole lot of tokens to get rid of. That's not good. 4 food, 4 hunger, 2 oxygen, 2 disease, and
Great.
a baby carriage. So our colony is in turmoil. All right, so that's that. What do we check next? We checked our pop size. We checked that.
So now we're going to actually go right into our...
Oh no, we have to add
events,
cards.
right? Oh.
So, but no, you're right. We do draw from the event first. So go ahead.
Okay, so our next event... Another solar flare.
Yay! Is it the same?
Is it the same one? Same exact one.
Same exact one.
Yeah, so I won't read it again. So again, our consequences, each player whose action markers are on the board takes them back. That's both of us.
Wow.
So we're going to get all of our workers back. Again, works out for me, so I don't really care. We only get 2 turns, though, or 2 time.
I can't reach that. Yeah, so we only have 2 times. So let's check the weather report. And we have solar activity. This is good. So
That is good.
1 less energy for food.
Okay.
And 1 additional energy
Oh, that's
for
good.
solar panels.
Excellent.
So that's going to be a huge power round for me.
Yeah.
And do we do power generation now?
Power generation now. Yeah,
I hope so.
Yep, that's next. So we're doing our energy production.
Energy production. So I'm
Each
gonna.
player receives energy markers produced in their buildings.
So you get 2, which is good that the weather changed, and I actually get 4.
Right, because you have your solar cells.
So 2 plus 1 plus 1 is 4. Solar is the wave of the future.
I guess when you're in space.
Yeah. Now we have to add cards, I believe, right?
Yep, so we're going to add 1 expert card,
1 expert to the
1
pool.
assistant,
So we got a physician. We got another scientist.
and 2 of our research tiles.
Tiles. So
Those guys.
2 more tiles. So we've got a nice stack of tiles we could start utilizing for a lot of minerals that we haven't found yet. And the way to get those minerals are through these regolith research cards, the regolith examination cards. So that's a good way to make money. The money obviously we need to get to hire some of these folks into our colony. So I think that
That's it. We're
is
ready.
the setup, and I get to kick us off. So I will start. Okay, I only have 2 actions, so I'm just going to use one of my astronauts, and I'm going to send him over to the greenhouse. And with my first time, so I have 2 times, right? First time, I'm going to build a, take one of these greenhouse crop cards and build it on my corporation card. So it's going to cost me an energy to do. And I'm going to take this guy here. And now I've built a nice little farm in my corporation.
Very nice.
My second time is going to be spent doing this action, which is going to be at a discount of 1 energy because of the solar activity. So it's going to cost me, I don't have any water.
Nope. I was wondering how you were going to do that.
Oh, that makes me want to holler. Okay. So, and we can't even make water.
Can you, and you don't have, well here.
You can give me the stuff. So
I can give you the stuff to
I'll go
do
do
that.
that.
Because I was going to do that for my turn anyway.
All right.
So
I'll go build
you
a
go do
water
that.
treatment facility. So that's going to cost me those, and an energy, right?
Yep.
So 1 of each, regolith, power, and supply. And I'm going to build a water treatment facility. All right, I get 3 points for that.
Okay.
3 happy points.
Yeah, I was either going to do that or the health, because we're going to need health too.
Yep, so I only get 2 actions. That's brutal.
Yeah,
All right.
it is.
That's just for this round, though, I thought.
It's for this round. Honestly, I don't know if it means both of these rounds or if it's just
No, I think
this
that's
one.
just the round, because it's the whole cycle. There's 4
Okay.
rounds in the cycle.
Yeah,
Well, 3
all right.
rounds for us, but that's it. You can put
Okay,
my colonists
and you've got
on
nothing to bring
the
back.
1. Your turn. I don't have anything to bring back yet. Soon, I'll have the food.
Okay, so two time,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna make this easy and go up here. Use 1 worker, pay 2 energy, clear both of our oxygen needs
All right.
at Zimoxy, and I get 4 happy faces.
Very good.
Cool. Easy.
All right, so
Done. That was it. That's all the time I
Put
have.
your token up.
That's all the time we have today.
We will pass the first player marker, and you can go again.
For my first time, I'm going to go here. So I have like such limited resources right now. I've got 1 energy. I'm gonna spend the whole thing right there. And I'm going to mine some regolith. And I think I'll do this one because we can open up more stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Does that work for you?
Mm-hmm. All right.
Cool. So let me get those. And with my second time and my third time,
Yes.
I'm gonna go here.
And you want 2
And I
supplies?
want 2 supplies, please.
And you'd like these, I'm assuming.
And I want those over here.
All right. So we've completed the sorting, thankfully, so I don't have to deal with that anymore.
Right.
And you're going to get 4 points for that.
Yeah. And we need all these. Yeah, we definitely need those. Okay. Yep. Oh, yeah, I get 4 points for that. Cool. And I am done.
All right.
You are up.
I'm up. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is create water. And for 1 time, 1 energy, and 1 dirty ice, dirty Martian ice, I'm going to get 2
Water drops.
water droplets, which is huge. That was my first action. Second action is going to be to recreation, because I got to bring everybody back. And my third action is going to be to create food. And I'm going to use my farm and harvest. And for 1 water and only 1 energy because of solar activity.
Wait, what's that? Oh, because you're harvesting. Right?
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm harvesting, so it's a discount. I get 3 food plus 1 from my botanist, so that's 4 food.
Perfect.
So I've just taken 4 heads of lettuce.
Why is it like cabbage?
I don't know, 4 cabbages out of the greenhouse.
I don't think they're getting much nutrients out of that.
Well, it's something. And that's it. So I'm going to send my guys back, but they have the capacity to carry 2 food or medicine back with them. So they're going to take 2 food with them. I'll put that back here, but that's going to eliminate 2 of our hunger because they're eating cabbage.
They are.
And I have enough food to feed the rest of the colony.
They're like eating like halupki or something.
Maybe. And now you pass that over, and we actually go into
We're gonna go into
an event
this
phase. All right,
so
let's do the events.
Yeah, before you get thinking about what you want to do here.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, fantastic.
What is
Great. It's a hydraulics failure. So there's nothing like starting the day by finding one of the construction cranes broken. Engineers diagnosed a hydraulics failure and repaired it temporarily. The crane works a little slower, but at least it does work. Eventually the entire module will have to be replaced, but it's going to take some time. Performing the construction action takes 1 time more
Great.
in the current round, which is exactly what we need to do, so that sucks.
All right, and let's see where our weather is.
Whether there will be weather.
Sandstorm.
Oh, okay.
All right, like we had before. So energy
good.
production is dampered, and food production costs more. But we're done making food,
Correct.
so that's fine. But we
That
are
just
getting
sucks,
energy
'cause
production
we are not
now.
getting energy.
So instead of 3,
So I'm gonna get 1.
I'm gonna get 2.
Thanks. Wait, why are you throwing your energy at me?
2. All right. So we've got we're okay on
Okay.
energy. Oh.
You only get 2 energy?
Yeah, because I normally produce 3.
Oh, the last time I guess you got 1.
I got
plus
an
1.
extra
Okay,
one.
gotcha.
Yeah, so it was really nice.
All right.
Okay.
So that's where we are.
Eek.
What are you going to do?
Well, this doesn't bode well at all.
Oh, can I stop you for a second? Oh no, because you just took your guys back after you made food. All right. I was trying to think if I could have taken your food back with me, but I can't.
Nope.
So go ahead.
Well, you'll be able to cart some stuff later.
Yeah. Well, maybe.
All right, so 2 of my energy is going to go, 2 of my time is going to go to building, because normally only 1 would cost, but now it's going to cost me 2. Is going to go to building the hospital.
Okay. And I'm assuming you're going to use one of my regolith, right?
Yep, and
one of my
and your supplies.
resource
So just had you pay for the whole thing. Well, it benefits both of us, right?
Right.
It's communal. So if you'll remove that token, please. Now we can actually make some medicine because we haven't dealt with that yet. So with my last time, I'm gonna have to go do medicine.
Okay.
Medicine man.
Can you do medicine?
I'm gonna.
Oh, you have a water, right?
I do. I just need your supply.
All right.
So water supply and 1 energy, and we actually can make some medicine, so we can treat some of the disease.
Okay.
That's it for me. So you can bring him back. Oh my goodness. And I'm gonna cart back 2 food.
Okay, so
So
put that
put them here, and we'll get rid of our hunger.
All right.
Oh, all right. So now you've got to see if you can.
Let me see
Get
what
us out
what
of
magic
this.
I can work here.
Yep.
I fear we're going to have a health failure. I think.
There's no question.
So there's absolutely no way with only 2 with only 2 time that I can do that.
Yeah.
So, all right. So for my first time, I'm gonna have to bring all my guys back. So that's 1 time. For my second time, I think I need to build up my energy as well. So I'm gonna go here, and I'm going to spend 1 energy. Right now, is that gonna cost me 2 energy actually?
Why?
Because if I want to do my kinetic power, it's 1 time plus an energy. But this says 1 energy.
Yeah, I think so. I'll pay your energy.
All right. Thanks. Cool. So then I can do that. Because in that way, I've got the wind. You've got the sun.
Oh no. Yeah.
You see how the iconography is
Yeah,
kind
no
of weird?
time plus a dollar, and that costs an extra $1. So.
Well,
that's
an
fine.
extra
I got you
energy,
covered. Yeah.
All right. Cool. And that's it. Those are my 2 moves, right? Or was that just 1?
That was
that was
1.
2. So I have 1 more.
Yeah.
All right. And I will. I guess maybe I'll mine for some resources. What do you think?
Mine or supplies. We need both.
Minor supplies, major
Minor
supplies is what
Major.
we need. We need
We
major
go mine.
supplies.
It's probably best.
Are you sure? You're gonna mine though, aren't you?
I am.
Next
Yeah,
time?
I am for sure.
So maybe I'll just get
Get a supply. Yeah, that's fine. We need it because we can't build anything
Yeah.
without it. So, and we need that to make medicine. So.
Right. So that's good. That's it.
All right,
so let me take the 1 health
Sure.
back.
Take that medicine back with you.
Yep.
Here.
Well, yeah.
Put it back in the
there.
hospital.
And put that there.
And we've cured one of the diseases, so
Yep.
we're not going to get a birth token.
Nope, we're not.
Dang.
Yeah, that sucks.
That hurts. Okay, so that ends the work phase. Now we go to quarter summary.
Okay.
All right, so oxygen. How do we look?
We're good.
Health. How do we
not
look? All right, so
So these are all removed except for the very end of the game. But because we left 1 of those tokens for each 1 that we leave, we have to put 1 of our guys in there.
they're sick.
Yep, they're sick. And we can get them out just on our turn. We have to pay 1 unit of time to bring them back out.
Need
So
rest. Time to rest. So that's of all the issues. That's probably the best. I think
yeah.
the dining one you have to pay.
You do. Yeah.
Okay. So that's that. Now we go into, so since we did not meet all of our requirements, we do not get another birth rate token.
Right, because our
So
people are sick.
That's
they can't make
no
babies.
bueno.
So all we're going to have to do is populate our oxygen, disease, and hunger again.
Okay, so the same rates. 2 oxygen,
2 disease.
2 disease, and 4 hunger.
Yep.
Man, oh man, oh man. Okay. And that's supplemental, right? So what else do we do in the supplement phase? Now we do a bunch of stuff. I know that.
Yep, so we check our population size. Obviously, we didn't meet it. And then we go into our events.
All right,
So we're going to do our event card.
well, we got to pull our guys back. That's part of the quarters.
Sure. Well, is it in the rules? It kind of like says it a couple times in different places. So
Okay.
it's just basically as long as it happens, I guess. Take your dudes back.
All right, and you are actually getting player 1 marker as well.
Yeah. All right. So
What do we have for
here
the
we
event?
go. It is a solar flare.
Yay!
Yay! So we've had this a million times before.
Yep.
So we take all of our action people back,
Oh, that's even better, actually.
and we have 1 fewer time to use this round.
All right, there's your guy. We each have 2. And we got some weather, right?
Yep.
And we have a sandstorm.
Again?
So food produces, well, this one's actually a little
That's
bit
different?
different. So
Okay.
food is actually going to produce 1 less. And energy, both energies produce 1 less.
Sucks.
So for energy generation, I'm getting 2.
All right, and I'm getting 2 as well.
You're getting 2 as well now that you have.
So it works.
So that's not too bad. It mitigates
Yeah, that's
that.
good.
And the final is what?
That's it.
I think that's it, right? No, we
yep,
get cards.
and we do our cards.
So we get 1 card of each. So we get a geologist and an engineer and 2 more tiles, right?
Yep.
And we have some blue and some gold nuggets. All right.
All right, we're ready to kick it off.
Yeah, I think you're ready to take your turn now. So let's. Ooh, all right. I guess we should try to take care of some of this stuff.
With 2 time, what are we gonna do? So I'll spend 1 of my time and pull this guy back out of the infirmary, so he's ready to go now. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And for my second time, I'm gonna go here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to plant one of these on my boards. So we'll do that, and we'll do this. And with that, we've met the conditions for our scenario, right? We just have to
Yes.
survive at this point?
You just have to make it to the end of the game.
Okay. Yeah, and I chose this one because this actually gives us an extra food and it gives us a health.
Yep.
So if we're in a pinch, again, we will be able to do that without getting just like an abundance of food.
Correct.
And that's it. Those are my 2 actions that I have to spend. So
Okay. Not bad.
goes
Not
there,
bad.
and you are up.
All right. So first, I'll pull my sick astronaut back home, and I'll place another one up here, and I shall mine. So I'll spend 1 energy, and I'm gonna go and hit this regolith for 2, and move him there. So I'm gonna open up you and you. Boom. And it's all my time. I'm out of time.
Ugh, you couldn't even research any of that.
Nope. All right. Would you mind passing me the baton? Thank you. All right. Now I can actually take full actions. So I'm going to go and I'm going to mine again.
Yours again.
Mine again. It's mine again. All right. So pay my power. I'm going to hit this guy and take 1 regolith and 1 water. And then I'll put him here. And all those will open up in a second. And I'll spend a second action grabbing a card.
Good.
So we need a card. Yes, I got some
Oh,
brown,
that's good.
brown nugget.
things.
So let me peek in here to see if I can sell this brown nugget.
Is that yellow
Yes,
or is it brown?
It's
Is
brown.
that a brown one?
Yeah, so there is a brown in here for $8 I could
Excellent.
sell, and I'm gonna go do
Perfect,
that
perfect.
for my 3rd action. Hop on down here. It's gonna cost me my 3rd time,
Mm-hmm.
1 time, and I'm gonna get $8 for selling this brown mineral. So that's gone, and I will collect $8. That's huge.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we're gonna need much more money than that.
Well, we'll see.
All right, so that's all of my actions
Okay.
for this one.
I think you already. Oh no, this was your first one.
That is correct.
My turn.
Now you get to go. Whew, that was lucky.
That was good. All right. I only have I have 2 moves left. I have 1 move left to do this. So I'm going to take care of the oxygen
Mhm.
first. So that's going to be 2 of my time,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to use 1 of your energy to do that.
2 energy.
So I'm going to clear those 2.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll get 4 for that. 2, 3, 4. And then I'm going to use this guy for. That was 2.
Did you ever collect your 3 points for giving the medicine last time? I don't think you did.
Oh, no, I don't think I did. That guy. So you want me to give 3 points?
3 points for that, and did I get 2 points for every food I delivered?
I don't think so.
So I delivered 4 food.
4. Okay. Perfect.
4 food, I should get 8 points.
Oh, 8 points. Okay.
All right.
Good?
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to go up here
All right, and spend 2 of my dollars.
and spend 2 of your dollars.
And who do you want to hire?
I am going to hire for us the physician
Okay.
because I've got the time right now to do it, and I don't think you're going to on your turn.
Probably
Have the
not.
time. So I'm going
I
to
don't
put
have
him
enough
here. And what the physician does is he allows you to spend $4, and he turns 1 health token into mitigating 2 health tokens.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll give us a good engine to take care of that should we need to. It costs money, but
But it's not bad.
It's not terrible. And with my final action, because I spent 2 there, so I have 1 left, I'm going to recall my guys.
Okay. Whew.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
All right.
And
so
I send them back.
Send them back. I pass
with
you.
nothing.
Player 1.
Oh, this isn't good.
Why?
We're not going to be able to take back everything we need to take back.
No. We only need to take back food. What are you talking about? You're going to cure the
because
medicine.
I'm going to cure that. Okay, it cures automatically. I'm thinking we have to bring those tokens back. We don't. You're right. Okay. This game gets me all sweaty.
I know.
I'm so stressed
It's
out.
too much stress for you. All right, so now we're in the event phase. So what's
All right,
our second
so
event for this round?
Faulty equipment. Fantastic.
All right.
All right. Before the mission, we had to read those damned commission reports with disbelief, and we still keep talking about them. We can't understand how they could have pushed this crap out to Mission Mars. Most likely, the chairman took a bribe. These photovoltaic, I don't know what that means, installation elements keep breaking down. That's why I'm not an astronaut. Keep breaking down, and fixing them is like Sisyphean labor. We're lucky that the wind-powered generators are flawless. Consequences: each player who has a solar panel must throw away 1 supplies marker or remove their marker from the solar panel by the end of the cycle.
What?
What?
By the end of the cycle? So I have to get a supply to throw it out.
You have to gather a supply and throw it out, or remove your marker from the solar
I'm not
panel.
removing my marker from the solar
Well,
panel.
you have to grab supplies
And I will
then.
throw supplies out. That's fine.
All right. Well, that's what we got. So
All right.
Faulty equipment. So those damned photoscintillators. Or whatever.
All right, so let's check out the weather. Wind. Wind generators get +1.
Yes. All right. That's good. So we'll have plenty of energy.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it. So energy generation, I get 3, and you get 4.
Yep.
Wow, see, we're
That's good.
fat on energy now.
Yeah. Well, don't be too confident. Okay.
All right.
Great. And
And it
we're
is
ready
your
to
turn,
start.
actually.
All right, we're kind of screwed.
Very much
All right,
so.
so I was correct. We are not going to have enough to bring all of your food back because each of our colonies can only pack 2. And since I have to go now, then we're not going to have enough time. So a little bit of a change of plans here. So for my first time, I'm going to go up here and I'm going to make water. So I'm going to use an energy and I'm going to use your dirty ice. If you could throw that there. And I'm going to make 2 water.
All right. I'll get that later.
I'm going to throw it everywhere.
Yeah.
All right. So that's for my first time. For my second time, I'm going to go here and I'm going to spend 2 time. So for my first time, I'm going to replace the garden that I have, or my greenhouse or whatever. So I'm going to put this one back and I'm going to pick up this one, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to just take this garden. And what that will allow me to do is spend 1 energy and 1 water to make
Okay.
2 food. So there we go.
2 food.
And that's it. Those are my 3 time units. So I'm going to place my guy here, and I'm going to take the food back. So
All
I'll
right.
clear up 2 food
And
here.
you get 4 points for that,
Excellent. I'm more concerned about getting rid of the food.
right? But you also, if you'd like to use your expert, right?
Yes, and then I'm going to use my physician. So you're going to spend $4 from our pool.
Yes.
Oh,
no, you're
we're
not going
not.
to do that
I'm
because
not
I don't
gonna
have
do
any
that.
medicine.
Why don't you have any medicine?
Why don't you have any medicine?
Oh, wait a minute. God, I want to curse so bad right now.
I think
Let
what you
me-
should have did instead.
What we should have done instead
Yeah, leave
was leave this here.
Yeah.
So I would leave this here. Whoops. Right?
Yeah.
Still do what I did.
Right, but not take your energy back because you didn't. Let's say you didn't replace that, right?
Right.
Take your 1 water back. So now you
Yeah.
made water. You have 2 water.
And I'm going to spend 2 water and 2 energy.
Bang.
And I'm going to make a food
Right.
and a health. So
Correct.
let me grab a food and a health.
Right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And then that way, even if we're minus one food, so put one food back.
Yeah, I'd rather just be down one food.
You know what I
than
mean?
200.
Because then that way we just pay $2 and it's good.
Yep.
So I'm gonna change this because that health is gonna be like a lot worse.
Yeah.
So we're set now, right? Everybody understands what just happened. So take that back, give that food back there. So that's why we got rid of one
All right,
food.
so now take yourself 2 points back because you didn't deliver 2 food on one.
Okay. So we're gonna pay $4 for the physician.
I'm gonna pay $4.
And the health token that I produced. And we're going to be able to clear 2 of these.
And now you get 6 points for that.
And I think I only get 2 points for that because there's only 2 happy faces, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
oh,
I think
yeah.
it's just, I mean, I would love to take 6 points, but I think on this card.
1 for each.
Yeah, I mean, unless that means extra, but I doubt it.
Right. So now you have to flip that card into your next turn.
Yeah, right. So we used him once. And now I'm done.
Are you sure?
I think I'm good now.
Okay, so now I've got to try to salvage this.
Oh, stop it. That was a bad move, actually. Wish I should have just done what I was supposed to do.
Well, anyway, you made 1 extra food because of your botanist. So you technically would have brought 1 more hunger back because you would have been able to deliver 2.
Right.
So you get more points for that, too. So we're only going to have to suffer 2 hunger at the end of this point. So you get 2 more points.
Oh, okay.
So we're only going to suffer 2 more hunger.
Yeah, that's going to be $4. So, if you're okay.
Oh, we don't have a choice. The reason I can't make food, I don't have any water. Mm-hmm. And I don't have any dirty ice to make water.
I would have had water to give you if I had only made that 1 food. Because actually, you know what? And I know none of this is relevant, but I would have made 1 food. I would have made 2 food. I would have made 3 food. You know what I mean?
But you wouldn't be able to carry it all back.
But I wouldn't have been. Yeah, I don't know.
So either way, we're not going to complete this.
Yeah.
Right? So, but we're not going to lose.
No.
At least not yet.
Not yet.
We just need to tighten up these rounds a little bit. So I've got, my first action is going to be to take these guys back because that's all I can do. Right? So that's 1 time. So for my second time, at this point, I know I can't make food. Right? Mm-hmm. But
what can you do? What can you do?
Well, I don't know. What can I do? Like, I could just... I only have 2 time left, so it's not really...
I know.
It's not really helping anybody here.
Do any of those experts or anybody, make food for you?
I would love it if they did. This guy creates oxygen. This guy creates water.
There you go.
But it costs...
But it costs $2 in energy and a blue. I mean, he essentially lets you take that water action when it's
this
not available.
This guy gets me 2 cards. I can make mad money with this guy.
That might be good because we're going to need money.
And this guy helps you mine more. This guy reduces your research by 1 time. Mm-hmm. And that guy just mines more. I think I want that soil analyst, to be honest.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and take him.
So my second time will be to go to the school, pay $2, and hire a soil analyst.
Right.
And that's here. I just don't have any money, though. That's the problem.
Yeah.
So for my last action, I'm going to mine. No, I can't.
Why?
I have to get a supply to throw out.
Right.
Otherwise, I lose my solar generator. So that was I just had to do it. Right. But next round, I can actually... I need money. I need $1.
Right.
In order to use him.
Right.
So I've got to make money somehow.
Okay.
And there's all...
Anything you can sell regular?
No red, just blues, unfortunately. But we may get 2 more.
Okay.
Well, because we're getting more at the end of the game, right? So he's going to go back. He's got nothing to bring for food.
Nothing to bring to the table.
Nothing. He brings nothing to the table.
Okay.
So we're going to suffer food. So let's go. So the quarter summary.
At least we can illustrate how that works. Right?
Yeah, that's good. It's giving everybody
an
example.
We're good on oxygen. We're good on health.
We're bad on food.
But we're bad on food. So we each take
a guy. Goes into I'm hungry. And we got to pay bucks to get them out.
We don't do that per token, right?
No, I think it's
just.
That's a good question. That is a good question for when you're hungry.
All right. So no matter how many
hunger tokens there are, every player puts just 1 worker.
It's good to know because if you're trying to if you have 3 out there, you're just going to pay the penalty even if you can't.
Yeah.
Get all of them back. Okay.
So that's the quarter phase. So we can pull our guys back.
All right, so tokens. We have to survive like
One more.
one more round and we're
One more
good.
cycle.
Yep.
But we have to finish the cycle clean. We haven't finished one cycle clean yet. All right, so you can refresh your guy
I think we're
too.
good. We're set up to do that.
I hope so.
I hope.
Okay, so now we're in the supplementation phase,
Yes,
right?
correct.
So,
All right, so we get our 2 of each, 4 food, 2 health, and 2 oxygen.
all right, 1, 2, 3, 4, and our colony is not growing.
Nope, that's okay though, because then we gotta feed them more.
Yeah, I don't know why you'd want it to grow.
We run a very lean colony here.
Very lean because they're not eating.
Because they're very lean.
Okay, so we get those back. We're gonna get 2 more of these research tiles.
Ooh, those are good. That's good. We can get that stuff.
Okay, I'm gonna.
No, that's good because we can get that stuff.
True.
True that.
We're gonna get another expert. We have a builder.
Oh, the
$4.
builder.
$4 to build.
Really?
To take the build action.
That's
great.
great. Okay.
And we're out of assistance.
So we don't get any more of
that's
those.
all there are.
All right. So we're ready to start.
Are we?
We need an event.
Did you hand me back the
I'm sorry, what?
the player 1 marker? Because I go first.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, it shifts at the end of the round. So yes,
I thought you went first.
let's see what our
Oh, the
event is.
first
No,
one.
I was last to go
Yeah,
and
I
first to
got
go
you.
now.
Okay. So we've got valves. The young keep fluffing things, as though they didn't know that each mistake costs the colony dear and that it can cost a life. Having been born on Mars doesn't make them less responsible for learning the harsh lesson of what it cost humanity to move from Earth to Mars. How could someone have ignored the maintenance on one of our oxygen generator valves? Luckily, the backup system worked, and the losses are minor. Place 1 oxygen token in one of the quarters.
Oh, so we're gonna have to deal
In
with
the
3.
completion mode... Oh, competition mode. Completion mode.
Completion.
I learned how to read. I think I
Mission
maybe need
completion.
glasses. In the competition mode, each player places 1 oxygen token in their quarters.
Alright,
So
that's
we're
fine.
playing co-op, so that doesn't...
So we get 1. That's up in the 4
yeah.
spot, and we have. So that's got to go in the quarter. So we have to take
So
care
we
of
can
3.
take care of 3, but we can... I think we can do that.
I hope so.
I think we can do it. All right, and then weather?
Fair weather
Please
friend.
pick a good one.
Earthquake.
Great.
-1 to our mining operations.
Not good.
And we get power. So I'm going to get 1, 2, 3. And you
Okay.
get 3, right?
Yeah.
All right, we're okay on power.
Okay. And we still have our RTG thing too. So
If we
that's
ever
good.
need to dip.
If we need to.
All right. So that
All right.
is it. What do I want to do? This is brutal. I'm going to mine, even though it's the worst action to take right now. Cost me a power, and I'm going to just go. I'll go here so I don't waste anything. And I'm just going to get 1 blue for that. 1 dry ice.
Okay.
So that'll go here, and I'll flip those in a second. That's 1 action. 2 actions, I'm bringing my guys back. And 3, I'm going to go fulfill a contract. So for 1 red and 1 blue, I'm going to get $8.
Don't drop those so hard in there.
Why?
I think it is probably very loud for the listeners.
You think so?
I think so.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Perfect.
Some
All
people
right.
like the sound of
They like the
components
sound of
rattling.
components dropping down
Some
on
people
that
do.
thing.
It's just how it is. Yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna pay $2 to get my guy back anyway.
Okay, cool.
Thank you.
You are welcome.
And I'll go ahead and pay $2 at the beginning of your turn to get yours back.
Oh, you're so nice.
Yes, I'm that good.
All
All right, now you
Cool.
can go.
Okay, so I'm going to use 1 guy up here, and I'm on Moxie Control. So I'm going to spend 3 energy, take care of 3 oxygen,
All of our woes
and
are gone.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
You're just killing it on the points.
I'm killing it on points because I keep doing oxygen. All right. Cool, that's it. Those are my 3 time. And I have nothing to bring back, so.
Okay, and you're actually gonna get to go again, so
Yeah.
that's not a bad thing.
Yeah, it's not bad. All right, so.
I forgot to flip these.
Oh yeah, flip those over if you could.
Oh, I wouldn't use that
I
one.
want like a 1 blue. If you could flip that.
Yeah, I guess just take that one, whatever.
Well, I mean, I could take like this one.
You can't go backwards, I don't think.
All right. Okay. Well, whatever. I'm gonna mine.
Mind you.
Mine your Manners. There you go.
Which one are you doing? Gonna push forward?
Let's push forward, right?
Yeah, let's move forward.
Move forward. I can't even watch that show anymore.
No, you're gonna get 1.
All these 3s. I hope we have like not another earthquake because this is a lot of good resources. Okay, so I'll get 1 blue. Second time, I'm gonna recall my guys. So all these guys will come back, and then I'm gonna send this guy up here again, and he is going to make water with one of your energies.
I'll
there you go.
give you mine.
Okay.
You get 2 water.
I'll try to throw them.
Okay, appreciate that.
Okay.
All right, so you're good?
That's good. All right.
Yeah.
Great.
This is no bueno.
Yeah, this is like really not good. So.
I'm gonna need one of your food. Or one of your waters.
Well, yeah, that's
All
fine.
right, so I'm gonna start off by making food, right?
Okay.
So one time, and I'm gonna spend 2 energy and 1 water, and that will make 4 food.
Okay.
Because I get the botanist.
Okay.
So I can at least I'll take care of our food
2.
situation.
At least you can take, you can take all
All right,
four
I can
back.
take
Okay.
2 back. So that's my 1 action, 1 time. I have another time, and what do I want to do? I think in the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pay $2 of my 4, and I'm going to use my soil analyst with 1 energy.
Are you going to be making more money?
I will.
Okay.
And I'm going to use him to get 2 cards.
Okay.
1, 2.
Ooh, that's
What
like
is that? That's worth
amoeba.
2 points. So I get 2 points for that one at the end of the game. Not a biggie. So I have this green thing. I know there's green in here. Yes, $10.
Nice.
And 2 time though,
That's
so
a
I
good
can't
one.
do it this turn.
Okay.
But I can do it next
turn.
I've got 1 more time, right? Ooh, what do I want to do? I should probably mine. No. The problem is I only have 1 energy left.
Can you go grab that health token?
Do you have
for us?
supplies?
Yeah, I
Yeah, I
have,
can do
because
that.
I'm going to do that. I was going to do that on my turn.
No, don't bother.
But
so
that way you can
I'll
just
use my
do
last
that.
energy, your water and your supply, and we will get ourselves some medicine.
Yes, good.
All right, that's my last. My guys are going to go, but they're going to bring 2 food with them. And I'm going to get 4 points and feed 2 of our hungry mouths.
Okay.
All right. And it is...
Your turn again.
Yes, you pass that back. Ooh, but we have events
Yes,
first.
we do.
So let's take care of that.
All right, this is our last event. Visitors.
Oh, we have visitors.
Oh, we have visitors.
That's not a good thing.
This is not good. Okay. Nobody could have expected this. A group of Russian astronauts arrived at the base. One of them carried a weapon, which is
Oh, no.
irregular. The administration sent an alert signal, code intruder. Fortunately, it was canceled quickly as the unexpected guests met the manager, loaded some equipment on their trailer, and left. One might wonder if the administration thought that through. We may need that stuff.
Oh, no.
All right, consequences. Place 1 supplies marker in the landing pod. If anybody takes it, nobody else may take supplies from the lander in the current round. All right, so
right,
that's like
that's not
our
too
only
bad.
supply, I guess?
Yeah,
Something like
that's
that.
it.
Why are they gotta be Russian astronauts?
I don't know. Because they were in a hurry?
Okay. All right, events. Ridiculous. What's the matter with you? All right, another earthquake.
Yay! At least we're not mining this round.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
so actually
So-
he gets flipped back up
Yes.
every turn. It's my turn again.
It is your turn again.
We generate power though.
Yes, we do.
Three
So we
each.
get 3.
There's your 3.
Thank you.
Good, because we were out.
Yeah, we
I
need
got a little
that.
nervous there because of the power situation, but I think we managed power pretty well this game, actually.
Yeah, I think we did. That's good.
So first action, I have to recreate, recreate
Recreate.
what I was doing. So that's 1. 2. Where was I going to go?
I don't remember.
Oh, I was going to sell.
You were gonna. Yes, you were
But I'm
gonna
not
sell
going to
'cause you
take
need money.
supplies though. So
Yeah.
2 of my actions. So I only have. So my first time was to pull back, and 2 times.
You're selling that glob of green
Glob
stuff.
of green for 2 times. So here's my glob of green. And that's $10.
Yes.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, $10.
Okay.
That's all I can do.
Yep.
My little colonists are going back. They're bringing 2 more food with them, and that'll be another 4 points for me.
Okay.
And our people are fed this round, so now
They are. That's good. All right.
you're up.
All right. This will be pretty quick. It's all I'm concerned. I want to do this right now and just get it out of the way.
$4,
so pay
right?
$4 and that health token, and we're gonna clear these up.
All right, and that gives you
Since
2
that
points.
makes 2 points too. And we have cleared everything.
That's awesome.
So that's good. We don't have to clear that baby carriage, right?
No, I don't think
We just
so.
have like this, like nursery sitting there forever, perpetual nursery.
Oh, you get to do 2 more things. I
I
guess
just
at
get to
this
do
point you
some
want to make
stuff,
just
right?
points, right?
Yeah, I don't even know how you get points. I've not been concerned about that right now.
All right.
Okay, so I think the only place we can really get extra points is going here. So I'll mine once. So
Which
here's
way you want to go?
1. And I guess I'll go here.
You want blue? You have to mine red if you want a card.
Oh, I want red, yeah, so let me go there.
You're only going to get 1.
Yeah, I know, it doesn't really matter.
All right.
And I'll investigate my red.
There you go.
Ah, some gold blocks.
Gold bullion. You should sell those.
Yeah, I want to see if I can sell those for something. Let me see. No. Ooh, I'll sell it.
That's 2 times.
That's 2 times. I don't have 2 times. No. Yeah, I can't sell
Yeah,
that
you can't
stuff.
sell. Oh well.
Womp womp.
All
This
right, you have
guy's
1 more
just
action.
gonna go like play on his iPad or something for a little while.
Well, it says
I'm
1 to
gonna
mine,
keep
2 to
these.
pull a card. You have 1 more action, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What to do? What to do?
I don't know, because I want to keep the. I think we get like a point for each 2 of these we have.
Oh, for
or
energy?
something. Yeah, I think so.
No.
Not that it really matters, but
I mean, you could. Yeah, I guess you could upgrade something on your on your facility.
whatever. Can I just give it up?
No, and yeah, I don't think you have to spend it if you
Like, I
don't
don't
want.
have to spend the time, right?
No, it's up to you.
Yeah,
Okay.
whatever. I'll just whatever.
Put your
Doesn't
people on the board.
Yeah,
Your
that's
colonists.
good. Okay. Oh no, I was gonna. I'll just bring everybody back. Right?
Okay,
That's
there you go.
thematically that makes
Yeah,
sense.
everybody
right?
comes back
They'll
home.
come back home and they're gonna like have dinner with their extra time or something.
Sure, and there that goes
Okay.
on the board.
And I
So
don't have anything to bring back.
that ends the
That's it.
4th cycle.
Done.
And for the quarter summary, we just need to look and make sure that our quarters
Mm-hmm.
doesn't have any health, oxygen, or hunger tokens.
Just babies.
Just babies. We completed that. And as long as each player needs to have crop
Yep.
on their board, then I think that ends it.
I think we win.
We won. As a cooperative game, we
Yeah.
won it. All right, yeah, so for every 3 energy markers, you get a point. So I get a point.
So I
and
should
get,
just save my
I get 2
point.
more for this amoeba. So if you give me 3
Okay.
more points, please.
1, 2, 3. Okay.
And that's it. So
That's it.
cooperative, we won. Competitive, you won from points.
Right.
But I still,
I say it's
I'm more
hard
about,
to say.
I'm more about just beating
I'm
the
about
scenario.
yeah, really. Even though we were working competitively, I feel like we still
Yes,
played
it
very cooperatively.
plays more cooperatively.
To me, it's black. It's like kind of black and white, but
Yeah.
all right.
Cool.
Cool, let's go talk about it.
Yeah, for sure. I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Martians: A Story of Civilization. So you got to see how the game plays, and I gotta say, it's a very tough game.
It's very different. It's unique in the way you have to play.
Okay. Well, let's break down our categories.
Yeah,
And then
okay,
we'll
so
talk. We'll get a little bit more into some of the background and
Right.
and take people through what we've experienced.
Okay, so we always start with replayability. So let's start there.
Okay, so as you saw in the playthrough, we had a scenario, the botanical gardens or something, right? And our mission was to, sort through a bunch of seeds, get them onto the surface of the planet,
Right.
build farms, so on and so forth. Very thematic, very very right for this type of game, and I thought it was really cool. The game comes with at least 10
Yes.
different scenarios that are all very unique.
Right.
All have varying levels of difficulty, and this was one of the 4 that the FAQ recommends you play first.
And it makes sense thematically too, because it's like you just got there.
Yep.
And you're building stuff up and everything. I think some of the later ones, you actually start out with different things on the board.
Correct. Yeah, and you start to branch out on Mars and do sorts of cool things. So
Yeah.
I think with that in mind, I think that boosts the variability rating up.
Yeah, absolutely.
A replayability rating up tenfold.
Yes.
Right, because you're going to get at least 10 unique plays out of this game, but I think it's going to take you more than 10 plays to be good enough to beat every one of them.
Right.
So you're definitely getting your money's worth when it comes to content in this box.
Right.
So
you have variability in like the events and things like that come out too.
Correct.
Some of the other scenarios actually have their own events.
Yes.
That get added in. There's even like an extra tableau for one of the ones, I think.
Right. There's a sideboard.
Like
there's
sideboard and
sideboard.
everything.
Yeah.
There's
like
a
a robotic
sideboard on
man.
Mars.
There's all
That would
sorts
be
of
cool.
things, let me tell you. I mean, so this thing it's like it came with expansions. Now this was the Kickstarter Deluxe version, so I'm not sure what's going to come in your basic retail version of this game. So with that said, base it upon this version of the game. Like I said, I don't know what's in the basic. So if you get the basic, you may not get 10 scenarios.
Right.
But for the version we played, this is where the review is going to be.
Right. All right. Cool. All right. So weight. And we already talked about it being difficult.
Yeah. This is heavy.
This is very heavy.
This is definitely a hairy.
It's a very hairy game.
Heavy Euro game.
Yeah.
For sure. So it is a brain burner.
Yeah, but I like it. I mean, it's a different kind of heavy. So I mean, when you're thinking about your normal worker placement, like we showed you in the playthrough, you have your workers, they go out and do things, and you do have to kind of think about what do I want to do next time and all of this. Having the management of time in addition to the management of your workers is really unique and definitely adds a degree of complexity because you're managing 3 different resources. You have your physical resources, your time, and your workers.
Yeah.
So you have to think about all 3 of those things as opposed to just where am I going to put my one worker this time?
Yeah.
Or my set of workers or something.
It is.
So
it's complex.
Yeah, it's very, very complex.
This is one of the more complex games we play. So.
Yeah. All right, great. So let's talk about components.
Now the components I'd say they were good. Very good. I'll even give them very good. The cardboard stock was a little on the thinner side, so I do like nice thick cardboard chips. These are certainly not of the stock thickness that I prefer. I think the cards were of decent quality. They're small, but they're okay. The art's good. The board looks beautiful, but it looks a bit cluttered, and I think there's a little bit more on the board that could have been more efficiently used, like the space.
Right. Yeah, I know we talked about possibly even having like a separate in your player tableau space for your for different things. I mean, I don't know how it would play with more. Maybe it makes more sense with more people to have your pods and everything there on the board, or I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I do know playing this vertically, we will probably never play this vertically.
No, you can't reach. You're gonna need like a shuffleboard.
I was like dumping stuff off
like
the
you're
board
playing craps.
we
You need one of those little things to pull all your chips back because it's longer than my arm. So and I don't like walking around the table. So we played it horizontally, but the other side of the board is a vertical setup with a slightly more orange hue.
Yeah, it's a little bit brighter.
Yeah, it's a more vibrant. I like that color. It pops more, but I can't. We can't play it that way. So it's just, the board is just too long.
I know one thing, and hopefully the playthrough helped with this a little bit. But if you do have some of those expansions or those other scenarios and things, they come with extra components. So when we opened the box, there were actually 2 versions of the tiles that go in the center, for example. And there were no instructions on which set you use unless you read the scenario for the special one. So if you read the normal game, the normal game setup, it just says place them out. So I mean, I think like matched the board color, because one of them is like really bright orange and the other one's like more dull, and it matches the board that we played a little bit better.
Right.
So we laid them all out. We started playing the first time, and we're uncovering these like minerals and things that we can't use. And so that was like play number 1.
Yeah, that was our first play, and we had to scratch it and start over.
But there's a lot of little hidden things.
Yeah, we'll go into the rule book later.
But that has to do with components.
Yeah, the wooden components were nice. They were painted. They were very pretty, so they were really good. The turn marker, the excavator, all those were really cool sculpts. Nice, but again, those were all Kickstarter, so I don't know if that's part of the standard.
Yeah, the player 1 token is usually just a disc. It's another cardboard disc.
Yeah, player 1 token's a disc.
It almost looks like a steeple.
The extractor is like a wooden steeple looking thing. So those are probably like the standards, but I mean, for my version, I think these are pretty good. Cool. Yeah, they're pretty cool.
All right, theme. So did you feel like you were on Mars?
I did. I think the fact that everything sort of integrates well as far as having to generate energy, water, melting the ice into water. I mean, all those little things thematically are perfect.
Makes sense.
Yeah, they all make sense. So you feel like you're actually out there on Mars trying to generate these resources, and it's all costing power. Like that's the main currency in this game, and it's so critical to have the power to do anything, and having to build certain stations up. So yeah, definitely cool. And theme-wise, I think it was they nailed it on theme.
Yeah,
no question.
Absolutely.
I think it really.
And all the flavor text and the extra stories and the side things and everything, they really spent a lot of time, I think, working on that piece of it.
Well, without a doubt. So yeah, definitely thumbs up on theme here.
Yeah. All right. Fun factor. Did you have fun?
In a masochistic sort of way, because it's torturous fun, but that's not bad, because and I know you haven't played this game at all yet, but she hasn't been exposed to Portal games, Adventures of Robinson Crusoe, and or the Curse Island of Robinson Crusoe, whatever you want to call it. So, but anybody who's played that game knows that it's just a grueling, punishing, worker placement, resource management game that you are going to lose like more times than you win, and that game just beats your soul down into nothingness, and you leave that game just frustrated and angry. But it's a puzzle, right? Similar to this is a puzzle. It's a survival puzzle game, sort of out of that same vein as Robinson Crusoe, but in a different enough mechanics that it doesn't feel anything like that game. But I still got the same like anxiety and the same like pressure and the same like, oh my god, we're not going to make it type feel of frustration while you're playing it. But when you get it right, it's very satisfying. It
is very satisfying. And I think that when you do screw up, or you do, you don't feed all your people, or you don't, their health is declining or something, there are mitigants to take care of those things, I think. And the penalty is kind of like a punch, but it's not knocking you down. I mean, as long as your people don't, they have the air and oxygen and all that kind of thing.
That's the big one.
That's the big one. But it's not beating you down so much that you can't recover from it.
Right, and we were able to get through it.
So even though we screwed up a couple times strategically, I think we recovered from it well, which is probably what would happen, I guess, if you were on the planet.
Yeah, so this is game is more like an experience.
Yeah, it is, definitely.
Than it is just, hey, we're just playing a game. We're passing cards around trying to outscore you. This is like, we're in this trying to survive together, and I think that's out of the same vein, like I said, of Robinson Crusoe. So is that fun? Yes. If you like that type of game, then it's fun.
All right, cool. Setup.
Brutal.
Setup was not fun.
Not fun. It is a lot, and 90% of the frustration in the setup of this game is a rulebook.
Yes.
And we will talk about that in a few minutes. So.
But you are lucky because you have our video.
Yes. This video
I hope you took notes.
should give you a much better start than we had.
Yes.
So watch the video.
Yeah. All right. So we'll get into rules in a little bit. Audience, who is this for?
Heavy gamers.
Heavy gamers.
Heavy gamers.
Yeah.
Do not bring this around your family if they're not heavy gamers.
If you're trying to introduce somebody to board gaming, this is not the one to do it.
This will force them to quit. Yeah. And never look the same at you again.
Right. But I think for people that appreciate the strategy and appreciate that challenge, fantastic for that audience.
Yeah. You want a lighter Mars-themed game that you could teach somebody as sort of their first heavy game? Terraforming Mars.
Yeah, for sure.
That one you could teach somebody. It's fun times. You're not going to critically lose the game halfway through. This you will.
Yeah.
You could die in this game 2 turns in and game over. You know what I mean? Like, and you're just not going to recover. So somebody who doesn't know or
plus
understand
the mechanics and things are very difficult to understand. So that's if you can get the person playing enough that they are able to win or fail.
Yeah, exactly. So it's complicated.
Yeah, the mechanisms are definitely complicated.
No
so definitely for heavy gamers and folks that like space.
Yeah.
I guess if you're not into the theme, if like Mars and Martian like space doesn't do it for you, then you're not like, because again, the theme is heavily embedded and it's very good if you're into that.
Yeah, it's really good for space. Yeah.
All right, so we normally at this point go into conclusions. So I think we have a couple of things to say first. So we want to clarify.
All right, so let's talk about the rulebook.
Okay.
All right. So it comes with a pretty decent sized rulebook. It's not like thoroughly like packed full of information, but it's a good sized rulebook. It's got, it's in semi good order as far as what you should expect beginning to end. I mean, it starts with setup and it ends with end game. What happens in the middle is absolute chaos. It looks like you just wrote rules on a bunch of different pages and then just kind of shuffled them up and then put them in the book and said, okay, well, I forgot to add this in, so I'll add this note at the bottom to say, hey, for back at this step, you should do this first. But it's like, you've really got to hunt and peck for what you want to know. And I've never been so like lost in a rule book that I have to constantly refer to it and not know where I was. Well, I knew I read this.
That was the thing. And the takeaway is kind of even playing through the game a couple times, we're like, we need to check on this one thing that we haven't encountered yet, or maybe encountered once before. We want to check the rule to make sure it's okay, and we can't. Was it in the rule book? Was it in setup? Was it in the errata?
There's no glossary to tell you where to go in the book. So you could say, okay, what about this term? I should just be able to look up what page it's on. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
Right. And there were some things that were a little ambiguous, like even with our scenario, this one, and we clarified it, like a couple turns in. Yeah. But it says you spend time sorting through seeds. Well, do we actually spend time?
Yeah, technically, do we spend time?
And if you know the other scenarios, like we are familiar with some of the other scenarios where you do spend a time to do that action, and that's explicit. Was it just an oversight that wasn't explicit in this set, or what? Or
is it implied? Do I make assumptions? In board gaming, there can be no implying. It has to be, I do this or I don't.
Right.
Because if you don't do it the right way, the whole game is invalid.
Yeah.
And we can't have that. So it's just very frustrating. And the problem is that it didn't need to be.
No,
to learn the game is not that complex that you needed to have such complicated rules, and I think that made the game more difficult to learn.
Right.
And it took us a lot of browbeating on this one.
It did.
To figure it out. It was tough, and I can't even say with 100% confidence that what you just saw is 100% right, because I'm not. But I think it is.
Right.
I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah. But if you told me tomorrow, wow, you got this all wrong, I would be like, okay, I'm so sorry. And I wouldn't be shocked. Right. But with that said, it comes with an FAQ.
Yeah.
That actually confused me more than in some cases than it did help. But it did clarify some things. It needs a round card that tells you what you should be doing every turn.
And it's funny you say that, because in the errata, I think on the very last page, one of the questions was with regards to the play order. And very simply, I think they responded and said, basically, here's what they went into a whole bunch of stuff to describe the answer to the question, and then they're like, basically, it's like this. And then they did the round order. I was like, oh.
That should have been like page 1 of the rule book.
Right,
and
exactly.
It's not.
And, on your player card.
There's no reference card with that. The player cards, all they have are mappings of what this symbol means.
Right.
That's fine. I need that anyway. But I need a player card that tells me, okay, for this phase, you do this, this, and this. Very simple.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have to keep going back to this rule book. So this game needs a new rule book, period.
Yeah.
Hands down. The one you have, throw it out. because there's got to be a better one out there. Somebody somewhere on Board Game Geek will come up with a better reference sheet or a better player rule book that will teach you how to play this game. Because if you really try to learn this, you are going to get so frustrated you may not even want to play the game.
I'm like this
She was that close.
I'm like this close to writing a new book.
Close. Well, you're not writing a new book, but she was that close to not even wanting to do a playthrough of this because of the first game experience we had based on this rule
because
book.
honestly, I was worried that we were not understanding what we were supposed to be doing, first of all, and I was getting so frustrated. I kind of explained it to Anthony as like, this is a puzzle, and I love puzzles, but I need to know what my objectives are and what my confines are. What are the rules? Putting this thing together. Like, I could make up my own and win, I guess, based on my own rules, but I like to have things laid out in such a way where I know I'm doing it the right way.
Yep.
And then when I win, or when we succeed or whatever, it's like, okay, I can do that in confidence that we did it the right way.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
All right. So in conclusion, so that was a big issue. So in conclusion, so basically what I felt playing this game was, rules aside, I think the game has a lot to offer. It's very challenging. It's a nice puzzler. It's in the same vein as Robinson Crusoe. So if you like that survival, worker placement, Euro type game, economic type builder, it's got all of that in a very different way, which is good because it adds a completely different mechanic than what we're used to, right?
Right.
So I think there it certainly gets kudos. So from an overall ratings perspective with this game, I'm going to have to say that I would rate it a great, meaning that it's kind of like our middle of the road. It's a great game. I'd play it. It's not one of my best games. It's not brilliant, and it's certainly not outstanding. I think it would leaned a lot more towards brilliant had a lot of these loose ends been tied up.
Agreed.
If it had a rock star of a rule book, it would have been a much better experience. I think the cards need some cleanup in some of the text. I think the board itself could have been polished and tightened a bit. But otherwise, I think mechanically, the game has a lot of promise and it's fun.
Absolutely.
It's challenging. I think the fact that they added, all those scenarios makes it, just gives it a ton of legs. So at the end of the day, it's a great game. We enjoyed it. But we had to get over this hurdle of frustration.
I enjoyed it so much more this playthrough than I have in past plays
Any
that
of the
we've
prior
done trying
plays,
to learn it, because once you understand how everything works, it's like, okay, well, that's not that complicated.
It really isn't.
I mean, it's like it's complicated in the mechanisms, but if you're used to playing games, it's not. It's enjoyable because, like you said, it has a lot to offer. These new mechanics and things are fantastic.
Yeah.
Like the concept is absolutely wonderful, but getting to that point is just frustrating, and I don't know how many people are going to have the wherewithal to do it, or how many are just going to end up, getting
putting on their trade list. Yeah.
Exactly, because it's just too much to try to learn. So
we'll leave you with this: if you have the game and you're going to play it, make sure you sort out all of your expansion stuff and the add-on stuff from the core game. 2, build power first.
Yes.
One of our playthroughs, I didn't build power.
Neither of us did.
And we had no power towards the end, so we could not do anything.
Yeah.
We just kept collecting supplies every turn because that's the only free action you can really do if you don't have any money or power.
Right.
So if you run out of power, you will lose, period. So you have to have at least one power plant from the beginning.
Yeah.
Rule of thumb.
Right.
Right?
And if you're playing cooperatively, like we did, I think we did well this time because we both took each power source.
Yep. So we kind of bridged it.
Yeah.
So as long as you do that, you have a chance.
So that is critical.
Yep. So when you're playing the game and you're like, why don't I have any power left?
Yeah.
You'll know why. Then you might as well start over.
Yeah.
There's some discussion on there about, I think certain people thought that the recreation move was free. You could just take them back as a free action. It's not.
Yeah, you have to spend the time to do that.
Spend that time, which is half the challenge. So, but you can take it back at any time.
Right.
You don't have, but you can only do it once per round.
Right.
So as long as you keep these things in mind, it'll help you to kind of formulate your strategy and kind of plan out your moves. And those are important things.
Yeah.
So
I would say read through the all the scenarios and stuff too, just because, like I said, a lot of the rules or a lot of the understanding is actually a fault of omission, I think, because when you're reading through some of the other scenarios, you'll find out that you don't need these extra cards or these extra pieces or this extra, you know, thing. So,
and the event cards,
just familiarize yourself with everything.
On the front of the event cards in very tiny text, it'll have a number 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah. Those are for the special scenarios.
They match to all the scenarios. So most of the generic scenarios are labeled with a 0 on them.
Right.
So use those events for those scenarios. That's simple. It doesn't tell you this, you have to dig for it.
Yeah.
So we're giving you these little tips because it'll help you get the board game to the table faster.
Right.
Without having to go through some of the pain points we did. But that's all we're going to give away for now.
All right.
So there you have it. Martians, A Story of Civilization. Hope you enjoyed the playthrough. Hope it helps you have a better understanding of how this game plays and how to actually get it played without going through some of the pain that we did. So
Okay.
thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Please subscribe, and we shall see you next time.
See ya.